Right, Angus, you know what to do. Clap us in. Welcome to the Whisky Stories podcast.
This is your driver speaking.
Oh.
Like to apologise for the delay in leaving Dalmore. I've been informed there's problems with overhead wires.
What have you had so far?
Row one.
Row one.
This is actually a 17-year-old's 7-cask finish whiskey.
7-cask finish?
7-cask finish, yeah.
I'm going to retract on the wankiness of...
I think time and
lanyard.
place is a big factor in that.
I think there was people
that
who
was the time and it was the place.
Exactly. Welcome along to the Whisky Stories podcast with myself, Graham Collier, and we are not in the Athletic Arms Diggers. We're on a train, Angus.
Yeah, we're currently in transit.
We're in transit.
We're on the way to Helensburgh.
We're on the way to Helensburgh for the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival. We're making our way through West. I think right now, this is the furthest west we've ever been.
Furthest west we ever recorded until we get to Ardnamurchan. This will be the furthest
this is
west.
it. With Glen was probably the furthest west we've been.
Yeah.
Last week's episode, where we were taken around the Glen distillery by Gordon Dundas, and we were treated to a malt master experience with Jake Adcock, who talked us through how to blend Glen.
Yep.
Angus, you still bitter about the results of your blend? Are you okay with that now?
I'm okay with it because I was trying something different. It didn't work out, but I thought, rather than you two just went along with what Jake told you to do, I just thought I'll
you went
just do
rogue.
something different.
Yeah, quite right. Have you tried your bottle since?
I have, and I have to admit, I really liked the bottle when I was blending it in the blending room. I was like, you know what, I've created something I really like here. Personally, I think this is really good. I've tried it since, and to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Are you?
Yeah.
I went back to mine and I was alright with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a wee bit. I wish. But you know what? For about a week after I did that, I kept thinking, now, what if I'd done it like this?
Yeah.
What if I'd just done it like that? I wanted about 4 more goes on it.
Yeah. Well, we just need to go back.
I
Well,
definitely think I can crack it.
Well, I'd like
5 goes.
I'd like to try it again, but also I'd like to go back and I'd like to go to Rosebank and do the Tamdhu
Yes.
experience
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the Tamdhu experience at Rosebank.
Tamdhu whiskey as well is like a distillery that me and you have talked about a
Yeah.
lot and really fond of. So.
Aye, I mean, and we're still getting the 15% discount at Rosebank if you want to do one of these tours. WSP15 if you go in and check it out. But Chuck, you've not been on the pod for a couple of weeks. How's things?
Things are alright.
You enjoying the train trip so far?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just smiling myself because the squeaking.
Yeah, if anyone's listening to this on a train,
The audio quality is ScotRail's fault, not ours.
Yeah, exactly. I'd
Yeah.
love to say. In fact, this could be a sponsorship opportunity. It's like if it was brought to you by ScotRail.
Do you think we can get a discount code for ScotRail?
Absolutely, I think we could get sponsorship. If you're travelling anywhere in Scotland to get to a distillery, there's no better way to do it than by train.
Imagine the seats embroidered with Whisky Stories podcast.
Oh, it'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, look, I don't think many people have ever recorded podcasts on a train.
No.
So this is one for the
And when we
One for
listen-
the ages.
It's
aye.
it's also one for the train spotters, really.
Yeah.
And potentially when you listen back to it, it'll be one to know why people don't do it. as
Yeah.
Oh, we should probably say why we're going to Helensburgh. We're
Well, yeah.
off to the Lomond and Clyde Whisky
Festival. Yeah,
organised
another whiskey
by-
festival that we're going to tick off.
Yeah, organised by the Collectors Club, who we had
Yeah,
on
with
about
Collectors Club competitions. So,
about Christmas time last year, wasn't it?
That's
Or
right.
just before.
We've got we have with us, and you'll see the video of this. There'll be plenty of content that maybe has already gone out, but we're travelling with.
A big cardboard box.
But what's in the box, Angus?
A wheel of fortune.
A wheel of fortune. Yeah. So we're doing some big giveaways this afternoon at the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival, and I'm looking forward to it. But on the subject of that, we did have a listener question from Jason Hargreaves who spent a lot of time at our stand when we were working at Whisky Fringe. Jason was
Became
a
good
great
friends with Jason.
He is a great guy and a big lover of Glengoyne as well, actually. So he's asked a question. I just bought tickets for Fife and Indie festivals next February, March.
Yep.
Got 2 questions for you. Lanyards, wanky or useful? Right. What are we going with, Chuck?
I mean, I think they are useful, but I also think they're wanky.
Right, okay.
I know it's one or the other, but I don't use them personally.
No.
I probably should, because you both saw me at Whisky Fringe, and I probably needed it in both hands.
I think we needed a lanyard for you
Yeah.
because you were supposed to film the content, and when I was cursing you when I eventually sobered up and said, right, I'm going to upload all the footage that you were supposed to be getting at Whisky Fringe. And I went,
I was excited.
is this it? This is all we've got. Chuck was there for 4 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Angus and I were sweating we were doing all the work, we were speaking to everybody, we were flogging stuff.
Yeah.
You were away having a good old jolly time
Oh,
of it, weren't you?
great.
You didn't even take the camera with you.
I didn't think about it.
All I kept getting was you just zooming in and out of our faces for 10 minutes, and we're like, what can I do with this?
Yeah, I mean, I bumped into like loads of people I used to work in hospitality with,
Yeah.
and I hadn't seen them in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I got distracted. I had far too much to drink. I embarrassed myself, to be quite frankly, after that.
No, you were fine. You were fine. But
Yeah, I mean, but it was good. I did really milk the free ticket and
Yeah.
didn't help it up. So
Yeah.
I'll hopefully rectify that this
well,
week.
no, but that merges in with
Yeah.
the brand values of Whisky Stories podcast. To be honest, it's milking free tickets. You know, because it's another. Because I mean, look,
when it comes to lanyards, back to the original point. I mean, my tuppence worth for whatever it's worth. I would say useful, but not necessary, and probably wanky outside of a whiskey festival, but in the confines of a whiskey
I mean, yeah,
festival.
if anyone,
In
imagine
the confines
if
of
anyone was
festival.
to
if I showed up to a
Acceptable.
restaurant and I'm wearing a whiskey lanyard, don't let me in.
Oh
That
no!
sounds-
Actually, you know
I
what?
bet somebody's done it.
No,
though.
for the next,
I bet
if
somebody's
we
done
get
it.
lanyards today, which I'm assuming we will, I hope we
Yeah.
will. If we do get lanyards today, right, we're all turning up at Diggers for the next recording with our with our lanyards, and every time we get a Glencairn glass, we're sticking it in there and just walking around
yeah.
Diggers proudly with our lanyard dram. I would say, right, first of all, I put this in the newsletter when Jason asked this. And I would say, I think the general consensus, I put it into the Whisky Stories group chat as well, just to get your opinions in case we weren't able to put it down. Ross came straight off the bat with, let me just double check what he said here. But it was on the lines of, yeah, so lanyards are wanky for me, is what Ross said.
Right.
But I'd say, like, the person who invented the Glencairn lanyard, it's a good
I
bit of
think-
engineering there.
I think the intention is nice. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think when I was in Chichibu at Chichibu Fest, that was a big area festival.
Yeah.
There was like 3 buildings, like 2 tents, and I had a whiskey lanyard thing. I used it
Yeah.
because it was a long day
Aye.
and I needed to get.
And your
around
arms were getting
places.
tired.
I was getting tired. I was
well,
looking at bottles, taking pictures of bottles.
Yeah, that
Sometimes you need your hands free.
absolutely. And,
Well,
then-
this is it.
and we'll be
For-
walking
for-
around today with
aye.
microphones.
For the whiskey podcaster, it's very
But
helpful.
Yeah.
I'd also agree. I mean, the argument is also mute because if I'm doing all that stuff, I am being a whiskey wanker.
Yeah,
So,
100%. I mean, embrace the wank. I mean, we've embraced the wanky tasting notes, so embrace the wankiness of
Yeah.
our
Wanky lanyard.
wanky lanyard. Yeah,
Maybe
but
using the word wanky too much.
but the what I would say is I'm terrible for it. Is when I get speaking to people, is I'll put my glass down.
All right.
And,
aye.
and suddenly then
And you keep on
I
getting
think,
roofied,
and
don't
then,
you?
well no, not that no, I just lose my glass.
right.
Because what I'll do is I'll put that down, I'll walk away. And I think you've also got to remember is that mind the stain camera, please, Chuck.
Oh, sorry.
You got to remember that there'll be a good few hundred people at these whiskey tastings, and if even half of those people
Yeah.
are as clumsy and forgetful as me, then basically what's going to happen is people are going to put their glasses down, forget about it. People are going to lift other people's glasses, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, I think the general consensus of the Whisky Stories podcast is that lanyards are useful, but at the same time, wanky. However, I am in agreement. I do think that what we should do is, and I would love to see if anyone who does have a whiskey festival lanyard for a Glencairn, please wear it to your local pub.
Wear it in public.
Wear it out. Wear a
Wear it
lanyard.
out.
Aye,
Go
and-
for a run.
Yeah. Go for a run with a
for a run
Glencairn
with a
glass,
Glencairn.
banging off your chest and your nose. But
I
I
think
think
we're going to retain any liquid in that.
well, what we're going to do is we're going to wear our lanyards to Diggers one night, right? And as soon as we order our dram, thank you very much, and we're going to clip them into our lanyard and just walk about the boozer with
Oh,
them.
it's also the ones with like the clip on them as well. So,
Yeah. What about if it was instead of a lanyard, if it was a Glencairn tool belt, right? so you can just get a belt.
It's like,
But that's
Well,
quite
pouches.
impractical. You have to reach down.
No, but you can have like 4 or 5 different Glencairns in your tool belt, and you can have them around, and you
yeah,
can
but
just
then one misjudged doorway, and you're
Oh,
the
but-
doctors, man. It's like, like
fair play.
Yeah.
Or I tell you what, if anyone's listening and they're organising whiskey festivals, we've got other whiskey festivals coming up towards the end of the year, but also in the new year, as Jason was saying, Indie Festival and also Fife Whiskey Festival.
Yep.
We are now approaching Dalmore.
There we go.
Okay.
Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
We don't need to get that. We're at Dalmore now.
There we are. We don't need
Again,
to.
if anyone is listening to this on a train going, shit, I've missed my stop. But what I'd say is, what about a whiskey holster?
all right,
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
That'd be
yeah.
quite
that'd
cool.
be all right.
Because you could do, like, I'm thinking about, like, when you watch the FBI agents and they've got the
Yeah.
holsters on the inside, they're wearing the holsters on the inside of their jacket.
You're suggesting you
Cool,
go to a whiskey festival with fake arms.
Aye. But that's it.
Right.
But that's number one.
You could do the reinvention of the straw hat,
Yeah.
and then have
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Aye. Now that was
Just go around and get your.
that was question number one from Jason. Doors are opening.
This is
It's Billy
Dalmore.
Connolly.
This train is for Helensburgh Central.
And the question
The
number
next
2.
stop is Dumbarton East.
Thank you. Oh, as I say, ScotRail, partners of the pod, our official travel
Yeah.
partner of the
Well,
podcast.
this is
ScotRail,
it.
always making sure you
Letting
know
us
where you are
Exactly where we are.
and where you're going. Question number 2 from Jason here. What are your tactics? Do you plan or freestyle once you get there? At Whiskey Fringe, there were some stands I never got to because I just surfed around the stands that looked interesting. To be honest, spent arguably too long at the Glenmore stand. Maybe it was the chat or the excellent liquid looking at you, 17-year-old Pulteney. So I would
Yeah.
say, Jason, it was probably a mix of both.
And we probably
The chat
did
was,
exactly
the chat was, I mean, I would say...
excellent cameraman work at that.
Ah,
stand as
exactly.
well.
What I would say, I guess, is at Whiskey Fringe they dish out awards for the drams, and the Pulteney 17 won the award, but
Exactly.
they don't do.
Never
they don't,
mind the rest. We've
well,
got
they
the
don't- yeah,
best.
exactly.
Yeah,
But they don't do awards for the chat.
No,
and I
they
would say
don't.
that if there was, I think it was we were giving out some award-winning whiskey chat that day as well. I would say.
I mean, I would. Yeah, I don't ever have it. I've never had a strategy when we've gone to a whiskey festival.
No, but-
because we've kind of always done it on the fly a wee bit.
But we've met people who have.
But we've met people. I mean, we for example, I think Cam, Big Cam, friend of the show, Cam Ewan, he said about going 3 different days and doing. Right, today I'm going to do like Indies. Tomorrow I'm going to
if you're going to Whiskey Fringe for 3
Yeah.
days, you have to have a plan of
Well,
attack.
this is
You
it.
really, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't not. But I mean,
Or maybe Fraser said it as
no,
well.
you're.
Fraser
I think
Simmons said
if
it
you're
as
going,
well.
lots of people have said.
He's talked about the order of which I'll try lots of bourbon drams and
Yeah.
then I'll try sherry drams and then I'll go.
Well,
on.
Ross put it out on the again on the group chat. My festival tactics: grain, bourbon, non-peated, other casks, non-peated, single casks, and then peated. So
Yeah.
that's his sort of lineup.
Yeah.
So like that's detailed.
Yeah, but then there's other.
But then
people-
that's a tactic that requires you to kind of go around the room
Yeah.
several times.
Well,
Which
you
is-
have to. You have to.
Which you have to.
But you also
I mean,
have to remember that.
I know what
Whiskey
you're
Fringe-
like, Graham, in the sense that you could go to one stall and probably spend 20 minutes
Yeah.
there, and then you're looking at your watch and thinking, and we've probably done that as well at some whiskey festivals where we've not got around everybody just because of the amount,
Yeah.
lack of time.
Well, with Whiskey Fringe though, it's unique in the sense that it's over 3 days.
I'm not talking specifically
No,
about
I know,
Whiskey Fringe.
but the other thing that's unique about Whiskey Fringe, which is different to like for today, and Fife Whiskey Festival and others, is they have slots. So it's like,
This is your driver speaking.
oh,
I'd like to apologise for the delay in leaving Dalmore. I've been informed there's problems with overhead wires between Dalmore and Kilpatrick. Also been informed that I will get an update as at this point we can't move until I've been updated whether it's safe to continue. So just to bear with me at the moment and I'll keep you updated in a couple of minutes once I've been informed what's happening with this
Like we've
service.
lost the
I can only
sponsorship.
apologise. But I will keep yourselves updated. Thank you.
well,
Thank you
there we
very
go.
much. Well, I think,
Just there,
without further ado, I think all we can do is podcast. at this
Well,
point.
we've just been informed that there's some problems with overhead cables on the line. We're delayed. A big shout to our sponsors, ScotRail.
and our future sponsor, Helensburgh Cabs.
Exactly. Here comes the ticket lady. Actually,
Yep.
right. 2 seconds.
On
So-
official duty.
So we're delayed at the moment. I wish we'd brought some drams with us, but
it's a dry train.
going back to Yeah, so I think when you do have the different slots, because today's there's two. There's the early slot and then there's the later afternoon slot.
Yeah.
So actually, you're condensing. When you look at how many exhibitors, and bear in mind, if every exhibitor has on average 4 bottles per table, and you've got something like 45, 50 exhibitors, there's just too much whiskey to get through.
Yeah.
And especially if you're only going to be there for, it's only a 3-hour session as such. So the thing is,
what I would say actually though is what's quite interesting, and again this is a niche audience for this is when we've exhibited at festivals.
Yes.
So the Edinburgh Whisky Festival and the Fife Whisky Festival, half time's great fun.
Yeah.
And actually it's a time where people who have been exhibiting, speaking to the general public, have a chance to talk and network themselves. And I don't know, I think you usually get 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Of
But
just,
I mean,
and drams do get bored in that time as well.
But then
Food-
you've also got
food
to
as
remember,
well.
like, there's a lot of people. This is their work, you know. Like, so
Exactly, yeah.
we're going to see some familiar faces. But whilst we're there going, we got the train through. We didn't have to bring, because bear in mind, majority of people that are going to these things, they'll be driving if they're working.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you've got to take 2 or 3 cases of liquid with you. You've got to take all your paraphernalia that you'll be setting up with,
Yep.
all your marketing materials and everything like
lanyards
that.
and all that.
We just have
Lanyards.
lanyards. But we just have to turn up with our microphones and a camera
And our wheel.
and our wheel of fortune. Yeah. But I like the idea of that, and I think when we speak, you mentioned a couple of names earlier on there, Angus, and it's like people that work in the industry. Now, I think when you do speak to someone like Ross, who'll be at Whisky Fringe in particular, he'll be given free tickets to go on trade.
Sure.
So it's like, right, first of all, Ross has actually got a job to do.
Yeah.
There, which is try liquid that he might be interested in bringing into the bar. So he's got to. That's another tactic there. But then you always hear people saying, maybe I think it is the Sunday. A lot of people say it's the people that are in the trade that actually go, I'm coming here, but I'm clocking on. I'm not on the clock.
Mixing business with
And
pleasure.
so they've maybe done the business part on the Friday. I came on Friday, I checked all the stuff. So they have to have a clear goal. I think we should probably set ourselves a wee challenge, not challenge today, but like have a plan. Try and have a plan.
Yeah.
And then see how well we execute the plan. Because I would say that it must be really tricky if you go up to, let's just say, you go up to a stand. I don't know who's exhibiting. Pick us an pick an exhibitor we know. Pick someone.
An exhibitor we know.
Who's-
Well, I tell you one we do know is Hunter Lane.
Right, so we got Hunter Lane. Right.
Hunter Lane on / Ardenhoe.
Right,
There's
so
someone we know.
Right, so Paul Main is going to be there. Right, so what we say, right, I'm not really wanting to try any of the Hunter Lane stuff, but I want to see what Ardenhoe they've got on the table. Right, but then the problem is you go and you see, right, maybe they have 2 Ardenhoes. I don't know how many they're going to have. You say, right, I'll need to try both of them so I can see what they are, get the information, and that's fine. So we've tried Ardenhoe, but then they might have something really nice from Aberindi and you go, I can't because that obscures my strategy, so I can't touch that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, do we? That's where it becomes really, really tricky. So I think what we should probably do between the 3 of us. Now, bear in mind, we're going to be doing stuff today because we have the Wheel of Fortune. We've got a dartboard.
All right.
There's a dartboard being there for us today as well. I don't know how well drams and darts goes, but it could be a feature that could.
Well, this tune in for part 2 when we're at the hospital.
He's got a dart sticking out his head.
Yeah.
Please no.
Drams and darts don't go well.
And I'm apologising again for my.
I'm so sorry, I guess.
I'm so sorry. I should have filmed and thrown darts and had a dram on my lanyard.
But because you have a lanyard, so you can play. You can
You
actually
can
throw
play
darts.
darts. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I should have a straw.
Yeah.
Well, if we ever get there, because thanks to our travel partner ScotRail, we
We
are.
are delayed.
Yeah. But I think this is probably a network rail issue, who aren't our travel partners.
No,
so
so we can slag them off.
Yeah, that's it. But I would say let's try and think about, like, so Angus, I'm going to get you to list.
Do you want me to list? Do you want me to just very quickly go through as much as I can?
Go through it. I'll start a timer.
Oh, right, okay. So, I mean, we've got Borders Distillery, we've got Glenrothes Distillery, we've got Spey Distillery, we've got Cadden Heads, Dalmore, Douglas Lane, Annandale, Fib, Rare Fine Glenmore.
Yeah.
We've got Briclady, Murray McDavid, Gordon MacPhail, Auchentoshan, Woven, North Star Spirits. We've got Glen Murray, we've got Duncan Taylor, we've got Loch Lomond, Glen Scotia, we've got Stravaig, Tricara, we've got Compass Box, we've got Glencadam, Tom and Towel, we've got Necropolis Spirits, we've got Roslin Distilleries, Nikas Chichibu,
Nice.
Uncharted Whisky, Elixir Spirits, Lochley, Clydeside Distillery, and Bunnahabhain, Deanston, Tobermory.
Brilliant, right?
Cool.
So I've got
Tobermory, sorry.
I've got a wee plan here, right? Because we are travelling further west. There's actually a few there's a few names on that sheet that we haven't really spoken about much, so I think that's where we start. I think we look at going, let's target.
Who have we not spoken?
Well, for
to?
example, right?
Well, Necropolis Spirits actually did message me quite a while ago when they were sort of setting up, and it'd be
I'm not
interesting.
familiar with them.
I'm
Yeah.
not. It's not from
Right.
not a name I'm familiar with, but it'd be interesting to speak to them because I know they've spoken to us before.
Glen Scotia, Loch Lomond. I'm quite keen to have a wee chat with them.
I'd really like to go to Compass Box.
Compass Box, yeah.
I meant to go to see them at Whiskey Fringe, but got distracted along the way. But I'm a massive fan of them for a really long time.
I would be interested in speaking to them as well. Because
Bunnahabhain are there as well.
Bunnahabhain,
let's do a bit of Bunnahabhain.
Yeah.
I'd
actually quite like to go
feature
to
in the spelling challenge.
Yes, I think it will. Yeah.
I'd quite like to go to Glen Moray. Just to see what
Glen Moray.
Glen Moray.
Glen Murray. Glen Moray.
Sorry.
Is that on your way to Royal Loch Nagar?
All right. I was also so confident as well. I was like, come on, Angus.
It's better as Royal Bracala.
I still a master draw Bracala.
All right. So Glen Murray.
Glen Murray. That's it. Glen Moray.
Sorry, it's early, man. Let me be.
Sorry, we're stuck on a train. It's cabin fever already.
Come on, right. Aye, Glen Murray.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
I'll hit the Glen Murray.
Right, good.
And then, I might not. If it's just like the core range stuff, then I'm probably not gonna be really pumped up to have
I think
it.
they've got a few. If I might be wrong here, but I think they have a peated tequila cask.
I'll be honest with you, that'll be right at the very end of the day if I'm gonna go for that.
Because I think bear in mind,
Glen Murray's doing a peated.
I might be wrong, but I think I might have heard that there's a
Alright.
peated tequila cask going on there.
That's
They might have. If not, they've definitely got something like that on its way. Yes, I think also practicing responsible darts throwing and whiskey festivaling is important as well, because not just in the sense that look, it's a very easy tactic to just fill your boots is the sort of tactic.
Aye.
But at the same time, what I have found is
Box clever a wee bit.
well, it becomes frustrating because if you drink a lot of whiskey in such a short period of time, the whiskey just all starts to taste like whiskey.
It does a little bit.
And the danger that you have, particularly in a situation where we're very fortunate, is like that different whiskey festivals we've been to, is you get a chance to drink something maybe a little bit special towards the end of the night or the end of the afternoon.
Yeah.
And if you're getting handed something that's very special, that you go, this is like a taste of a dram after a lot of other drams, there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
So I think what we should do is create a little list, but we also, I should say,
we should reduce everything down to 20% as
Jake Adcock said at the
and
blending.
just get a sensory
And just smell.
experience.
I would
Don't
just
actually say anything.
But we are doing so the plan is we are doing a big giveaway with the Collectors Club competitions today, and so the plan is that in my head this is how it's going to work, because bear in mind we haven't, well, if we get there, thanks to our travel partner ScotRail, we'll be the plan is that somebody has to throw a dart at a dartboard, and whatever they hit, that will tell them the potential prize that they could be winning. Okay, and there's some good prizes. I haven't got it fully confirmed, but there's lots of bottles. There's maybe some discounts with the Royal Mail whiskies. There's even more bottles. So there's a lot of prizes to be given away, right?
Right.
Now, once they've thrown the dart at the dartboard, they'll find out what potential prize they're going to get. Then what they have to do is spin the Whiskey Stories Wheel of Fortune to work out what they have to do as a challenge to win that prize. Now, some of the challenges that we've got lined up so far, and as ever, we're very organised in the sense that we haven't got anything written down as such yet, but it'll be a 30-second time frame, and in 30 seconds they'll have to do something. For example, 5 distilleries that they have to spell correctly, and those distilleries will be pulled out of a hat, and it could feature anything from Ardbeg, Angus, how do you spell Ardbeg?
Ardbeg.
Brilliant. To Glengarry.
Right, I'm not doing that.
Is it Gairoch? Garrick?
Oh no.
It's Glen Garrick. Is how you'd spell it.
Apologies for the delay.
Thank God.
Been informed we're good to travel.
Hey,
I'd like to apologise for the delay. This delay has been due to problems with overhead wires in front of this service. Thank you.
Well, Whisky stories are back
well,
on. We're literally back on track.
A live update for you
There
there.
you go.
everybody.
So don't panic, everyone who's listening at home. I think we do make it to the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival. But yeah, so it's something like that. Or here's one for you, right?
Right.
I'm going to get the timer on. Put you under real pressure here, right?
Yeah, this is my nightmare, a spelling test.
It's not spelling. This is a different one, right?
Okay, alright.
Two dyslexics in the room and we're talking
Yeah.
about a spelling test.
Right, 30 seconds go. I want you to 5 distilleries that begin with the letter L.
L. Lagavulin, Lefroy, Ladyburn, Lejig.
Nope, it's not a distillery.
It was a distillery from 1972.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you're allowed closed distilleries,
Lejig.
10 seconds.
I can think of one.
5 seconds, Chuck.
Little Mill.
Okay,
There
there's
he
your
is.
5 there.
There
you
he
go.
is.
You would win a prize. You
That's
would
what
win
I
a
was
prize.
thinking
There
of.
you go.
Yeah.
I think there's 7.
Are
but
you
I
allowed closed distilleries?
don't know if we will put closed distilleries. We'll have
I
to
don't know.
stipulate.
I have to clarify that.
I can't. I should have done like lock. They come to you.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
yeah,
I think there's
Hopefully,
about
yeah.
there's 7. I think if I'm right, in the small amount of workings I've done on this,
Yeah.
if I can find the fag packet that I wrote this on the back of, I'd be able to tell you. I think there's 7 current distilleries
Okay.
that are
The Lambert Distillery.
because that's what you're looking at. So we'll do something like that. There'll be we'll maybe play a little game of player distilleries, right? Higher or lowers, all that
Okay.
kind of stuff. And that's what we are probably going to have to start planning at the moment before we get there. But we are.
Kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, we've recorded 20 odd minutes of
Okay.
the first part of this podcast.
Yeah.
The sober
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. The sober, sensible part. Before
sensible part, yeah.
before we record the final bit,
But the thing is-
after Chuck's had his tequila Glen Murray.
Yeah. But the thing is,
No.
there's jeopardy. This podcast has everything. It's got background noise. It's got members of the public. But it's also got jeopardy.
got dodgy overhead wires.
Will we make it? Will we make it to Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival? That's the first part.
Will we make it back?
Well, fingers crossed.
Will we be the same afterwards?
Will we all be wearing lanyards on the train on the way home?
Well, that's the key, isn't it?
Right. I think we'll probably need to actually start organising. Something.
Well,
Yeah.
without further ado, come
Right.
and see how well we've organised.
Let's see-
Tune in to the next instalment. Will the lads make it to Helensburgh? Will they have planned a decent challenge? Find out.
Yeah. If only we had lanyards. Angus, you know what to do. Clap us in. Welcome along to the Whisky Stories podcast at the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival. Hey! Guys, if you're watching this now, you will know we made it.
We did.
We made it. We made it just in time.
Yep. The train wasn't too delayed.
It wasn't too bad. It's now that we're about an hour into the festival now. We've got our setup here. We've got dartboards behind us.
we're
We've got
ready to
Wheel of
rock and
Fortune
roll.
and everything like that. We're getting ready to get our first competition person to come and take part in our giveaway. See, we've practiced, Angus. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling very, very good. I'm
Good.
looking forward to seeing some of the attempts.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the challenges. I'm looking forward to seeing people try and crack my anagrams.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Angus Grams.
The Angus grams.
But-
Angus anagram.
But breaking news. Breaking news on the Whisky Stories podcast at the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival is there are no lanyards.
Yeah.
Lanyards
Well,
are not
there
given
are
out. However,
lanyards.
there are people who have brought their own.
As a man just walked past with one on.
So the big question we have to ask now is, lanyards, wanky or not wanky? Bringing your own lanyard to a whisky festival. I think that's well prepared. I'm not going to call anyone out. I'm not
That's
going
a seasoned professional if there ever
That's
was
exactly because at the moment, as we're standing here, it's really, really difficult to juggle a
is.
microphone
Well, this is
and
it.
a camera
Microphone,
and
dram.
drums. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've got Chuck's actually been working really
so
hard.
actually, we've made a really bad decision by not bringing our own lanyards.
we're the wanky
this is
guys
it.
without the lanyard.
This is the
Exactly.
place where it is acceptable. Being in diggers with one on, maybe not so
No,
much.
we're still going to do that. We
Yeah.
still have to find
We'll have to have
Glen
two
lanyard.
pints in hand at the same time.
Yeah, we're just walking. No drams, just 2 drams in hand.
Sorry.
And walking about with our lanyards as well. So we've got 3 drams. Or what 3 drams? Right hand, left hand, lanyard. There's what we got. Right. So,
So we all have a dram. So what are we dramming, Graham?
Good question. But I have a Linkwood 9-year-old from North Star. I'll be honest with you. The gentleman, I asked for the dram. He said, "What would you like?" I said, "Something easy going. It's my first dram of the day. Soft, easy going." He went, "Brilliant. I'll give you this." It's over 50%. I couldn't actually hear a lot of what he said about it, but it's a nice, easy going. I must admit, Angus, you and I were at a tasting last night.
We were.
And my head was slightly fuzzier than I anticipated it being this morning. So this being my first dram of the day, I'm quite happy with that. It's hit exactly what I needed it to hit.
Well, that leads me on nicely, Graham, because we were at a tasting last night. One of the drams of the evening was a Glen
Yes.
finished in a kind of red wine break. So my first dram of the day was a Glen again from North Star. I can't remember the age of it, but it was definitely all single cask bourbon, refill bourbon. Very, very nice. Nice to try it in that context and compare it to what I can remember from last night. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chuck, what have you got?
I've got a Clyde sides. I just went something very light,
Yeah.
lower ABV. I'm on my best behaviour after the last time we were at a whiskey festival. And it's like 95%. The guy asked me what I wanted. Something light, fresh. So this is 95% bourbon, 5% sherry, and ticks all the boxes, man.
So I think what we've actually done is, in the time that we've been recording on the train to now, where we said we're going to try and come up with a structure and a plan, right? What actually has happened is our structure and plan has been get something nice, easy and light to get started. So there you go. We actually have stuck to that. And also we're practicing responsible festivaling we're now in, this is our first time. We haven't had a look
minus
around.
the lanyards, we are being responsible.
Yeah, we've had a look around. There's a few familiar faces. Fraser Souness working on the Gordon MacPhail. In fact,
a few friends of the show.
as this episode's going out, tomorrow night, Fraser Souness will be in the hot seat for our Indie Bottler Spotlight at Diggers. Sold out Indie Bottler Spotlight, I should say. So if you're listening to this going, I wonder if I can get along to that, I'm afraid you can't. It's sold out, but it's Gordon MacPhail.
Phone us up last minute to see if there's any cancellations.
Yeah, I did say to Fraser, we do have it on good authority that there is a chance that the Generations 85-year-old will be on the lineup. I don't know how big a chance that is. I don't think it will be there. But as I'm saying,
there's always a
chance. It could be there. Until we actually have 100% confirmation that it won't be there, we'll carry that on. Yeah. However, he did show on his Instagram story last week a lovely sample bottle that he blanked out outside the Gordon MacPhail warehouse in Elgin. And it was one of those, the first thing I make sure, obviously, duty paid was the only thing you could see on the label. And when you see that kind of white label, duty paid, and we've always said, Angus, those are the kind of bottles that, as Ross would say if he was here, gets our tails wagging. Wowzers. Right, so we've got a dram, we've got some microphones, we've got a dartboard. We've got a dartboard behind us.
We've got a Wheel of Fortune over there.
We've got a Wheel of Fortune over here. We've got some prizes that we could be giving away. Very good prizes. So yeah, we're almost all set to go. The festival is in full swing. Shall we go for a quick wonder?
Okay.
Have you been dramming today, chaps?
Yes, I have.
What have you had so far?
Row one.
Is that we've been asking a lot of people, do you come to a whiskey festival with a strategy?
No, just come to find out new whiskies, ones I like, ones I'm going to buy.
Brilliant. And is there anything that's caught your eye in row one so far?
So far, no.
What's your name?
Sorry, I'm Stuart Kelly. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Stuart. Thanks for coming along. Now, are you up for a dram challenge?
Yeah, why not?
Excellent. Brilliant. Superb. Now, what we're going to get you to do here. You get one dart here. Now, you throw. Oh, he's getting the jacket off for this, Chuck. This is serious business. We got the dart. We got it right. No practice. You can stand on the hockey here. Now, what you've got to do is, if you hit 1 to 5, you'll get a chance to win a pin badge. 5 to 14, you get a chance to win a Bunnahabhain 12, Deanston 12, or a Dalmore 12. 15 to 20, you get a chance to win your Dalmore 15, Glenmurray 15, and the Glen Scotia. If you hit a treble or a double, you get a chance to win a £25 Royal Mile gift voucher. But you have to throw the dart at the dartboard, Then once you establish what you could win, you've got to spin the wheel of fortune to work out the challenge that you've got to do to walk away with your prize.
And if I don't hit the board,
You break a window. Right, let's see what we've got here. Up we go then. Oh, he's looking serious here. We've got a 19, right, so you're in with a chance of winning a Dalmore 15 or a Glen Murray 15. Now what I need you to do, if you come over here now, spin the wheel of fortune, okay?
big spin, not looking.
Whatever you like, spin it, that's what we go. Right, we're going, here we go. What have you got to do to have a chance to win a Dalmore 15 or a Glen Scotia 15? You've got to try the anagram challenge.
No!
Right. So we've got the anagram challenge. Angus has the anagrams there. You've got 30 seconds. Okay,
I'm not going to get that.
you've got the anagram challenge. I'm going to start I'm going to start a timer. You've got 30 seconds. Angus, get one of the anagrams ready.
I've got one of the anagrams ready. So the first anagram.
Right, 3, 2, 1.
This is a distillery in Scotland.
First anagram up
First
there.
anagram, lentil veg.
Lentil veg is the.
Lentil veg.
A distillery in Scotland.
20 seconds to go.
Oh, no, I'm not going to get that.
Come on.
Glenlivet.
He's only going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our first one, the first person. Congratulations. Everyone's a winner.
Do you know that my heart was going like that?
You did really, really well there. Absolutely fantastic. How are you feeling?
Superb. This
Brilliant.
is superb.
And yeah, the good news about that is you get to share that with us.
Sure what?
That's absolutely fantastic. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. There you go. Everyone's a winner at Whisky Stories podcast. Brilliant. Right, Angus, you know what to do. Clap us in. Right, lads, it's half time.
Yes, we've made it.
We've made it. We've made it halfway through. It's been. We've got some beautiful scenery behind us. Is it Greenock behind us, Angus?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Aye. We are.
Gurrick, Port Glasgow,
Yeah.
all that sort of.
We're on the west of West Coasts. We're not the furthest west we could go, but it's the furthest west we've
Furthest
ever
west we've ever been. We're
Yeah.
pretty far west. We're west of Glasgow anyway. That's
Yeah.
west for us.
Exactly. We've had a few drams, but we've not had too many. We're actually probably, if people are watching this and going, I've seen these guys do episodes from whisky festivals before. They sound a lot more compos mentis than they should
We've
after.
been very well behaved.
We have. And we've got a guest here. We've got Glen. Glen, how are
Hello. Yes, yeah, pleasure to be here, lads. How are we doing?
you? Great. How are you?
Yeah, good. Feet are a wee bit sore, but
Yeah.
we're still standing. The legs
Yeah.
are still going, so that's good.
So you work at Whyte and Mackay, but today you're representing Dalmore. Is that correct?
Yeah. So work for Whyte and Mackay, pouring some Dalmore drams
Yeah.
today.
So what's your official title?
official title is a premium business manager.
Ooh,
Yes, yeah,
premium
yeah,
businessman
yeah,
at the
yeah.
Dalmore.
At the
Oh
Dalmore,
wow!
yeah. Actually, yeah.
Sounds like that
good.
comes with a thick business card.
Yeah. It's the title probably sounds a lot more sexy than the role actually is, but it's no. I get to look after some brilliant drams, brilliant brands, and get to go to some nice places across the country.
And you've made it onto the Whisky Stories podcast now. So
That's
it.
as premium as it comes.
That's
Really.
it. Angus, what are you? You're head of premium.
The premium whiskey stories.
Exactly. You have to subscribe for that.
head of whiskey
Wimble.
story creation.
Yeah, only drams. But
That's something there. Yeah.
but you've poured us a nice dram. What have we got here?
Yeah, so this is the Luminary number 3. This is the third part of a 3-part series that we did in collaboration with the V&A in Dundee.
Right, nice.
We partnered with an architect for each iteration. This one is with Ben Dobbin, who he was the lead architect behind the Gherkin building in London. If you've ever seen The Apprentice, and essentially we created 3 rare bottles that get sold at auction, and all the proceeds got donated to the V&A, and 20,000 collectibles. So this is one of the collectibles, and this is actually a 17-year-old 7-cask finish whiskey.
7-cask finish.
7-cask finish, yeah. So it goes through multiple red wine barriques, the Chateauneuf de Pape, some vintage Calvados casks in there. Some sherry, as you'd expect with the Dalmore, and it always spends its start of its life in ex-bourbon.
Really?
So we're up at 49.2% as well.
Good going.
Non-chill, filtered, no colouring added. So this is one for the whiskey purists that maybe it's not a very Dalmore.
That's a cracking
Yeah.
whiskey.
What do you think?
That really
Yeah.
nice, easy going. What's a bottle of this setting somebody back?
299 is the retail.
Pick the guys with the premium. Pick the premium guys out with the drams, eh?
Yeah, chum change, mate.
This is very, very nice. Now, we've not we've not talked an awful lot about Dalmore
No,
on the podcast.
whenever Dalmore gets mentioned, we just talk about Richard Patterson, really. And
Yeah.
Just
chuck it under the grass.
Yeah. The most expensive carpet in Scotland.
That's it, exactly. Hello.
But we've not tried an awful lot of Dalmore, which is probably a bit of a shame. But,
It is, but
What is the reason behind that?
I don't know. I think I tell you, I think it's easy to fall into the trap where, like, you see the Dalmore, you see the Macallans, you see them as like that's the premium.
Yeah.
And listen, I think you can say what you like about the premium brands, and there's plenty of people that will say, "Oh, it's just all that," but it's premium for a reason. And when we had Craig Johnson on, who he worked with Edrington. He'd been he was master blender for the famous Grouse, and he worked for in the sort of blending process and wood management for the Macallan. And he sort of explained, like, listen, it is premium and it does get a bit of a rep, but at the same time, the bottom line is it's premium for a reason. And he talks about the touch points, talks about the wood management program, and that'll be exactly the same with yourselves, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it's all steeped in hundreds of years of history. And look, there's some whiskies that go at the top end, like for the rare version of the Luminary series. 3 bottles have collectively sold for over £250,000.
Really?
And that's all been donated back to the V&A.
Of course,
This is obviously £300 is still a fair bit for a bottle, but I suppose you can't get away from the premium nature and the brand. But
that's it sells as well. There's a marketplace for that as well, and that's the bottom line. Is that people might say what you like. You see what people are spending on these kind of drams and these kind of bottles, but people are buying it.
Yeah,
so as long as people are buying it, then and you've got to make sure that when someone does buy at that price, you can't suddenly just say, "Oh, it's just because it's the Dalmore."
Yeah.
The quality that goes into
there
that.
are drams as well. Like when you first start getting into whiskey, Dalmore 12, Dalmore 15 are always touch points.
Yeah.
And for me as well, like the cigar reserve was one that it was like, payday then.
Yeah.
And that was a great dram as well. But I suppose the connection with it being cigar reserve, immediately I'm like, well, I can't afford a cigar.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kindly donated the Dalmore 15 for our giveaway that we're doing, our competition.
Oh, yeah.
And the first person to play won it.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Were they happy about it?
They were over the moon.
That's
He
good.
couldn't believe it, and he's
Yeah.
been walking about with it under his arm for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, anyone who's won has walked past multiple times. It feels like they've been rubbing it in our face.
I mean, we've had some big winners, and it's been great to see people winning it and stuff like that. But as well as the Dalmore, you guys have Fettercairn as well, and you've got lots of other stuff. Now you're here representing Dalmore today, but there's loads of going on at Whyte and Mackay.
Well, Whyte and Mackay, we've got some amazing brands and amazing whiskey brands, and we're very focused on the whiskey. We do whiskey well, and that's what we're focused on delivering. And Jura as well is the UK's most loved whiskey.
Top selling single malt in the UK.
It's some fantastic brands to work with, and Fettercairn's a personal favourite. I think it's got a little slot in everyone's heart that's a whiskey lover.
What's the new release that you brought out? I've got a photo on my phone.
Vanguard.
Actually. I tried that. Very, very nice whiskey actually. Very easy going, nice and fruity. And I went into Scotch at Balmoral this week and asked Curtis, who was behind the bar. I said, look, I just want something. It's my first dram of the night, just something easy going. He said, well, we've just got these in, and he gave me it, and I'm really, really nice. So what's the story behind that then?
Well, so the Vanguard, I suppose it actually follows a similar ilk to the Luminary series in Dalmore, in the sense that we release a rare bottle, a limited release, and then there's a collectible version as well. And Greg, I'm sure you guys will know Greg Glass. His way of making whiskey is so visual. It's like he's got a really interesting way of going about making whiskey. He's got a thing called synesthesia, so he tastes in colour. And his tasting notes are almost done in watercolour. So when he's looking for a whiskey, he's looking for mainly a colour that he's looking for. And the Vanguard series is the main halo in that is a pink oak, French pink oak, which got these lovely sort of perfumey kind of characteristics to it. And so we've got 99 bottles of the rare Vanguard that's available. One in Scotch at Balmoral with Ross.
Ross will be chappy. We've just mentioned it, Ross. So get us a free dram of that. Come on, pal.
A bit of a shout out there. And then there's the collectible version of the Vanguard as well. Which
That's one I got. Ross isn't going to give me the
Nah, it's not freebies yet. Yeah.
But
Maybe next time.
So, Glenn, yourself then, how long have you been in your current role? How long have you been working for Whyte and Mackay?
So I've been with Whyte and Mackay just under 2 years now.
Nice.
Yeah, I started my life in the hospitality trade,
Right.
as many do.
Yeah.
Working in bars,
In
restaurants.
Edinburgh, or?
A wee bit in Edinburgh, yeah, with the Virgin Hotel in
Ah,
Edinburgh
nice.
for
Alright,
a wee while, and then previously in Cameron House running the Whisky bar there. So
Very good.
Right.
yeah, whiskey hospitality, drinks in general has kind of been my bread and
Yeah,
butter
very
for the
good.
last 10
Cameron
years.
House Hotels. Where were you there when the fire?
I wasn't there in the fire.
No.
Yeah. I was part of the reopening.
Right.
team.
You're
Yeah.
post-fire.
Yeah, post-fire.
That's probably a good
Post-fire.
place to be.
Yeah. Mid-fire is probably not where you want to be.
Mid-fire, pre-fire fine,
Yeah.
post-fire fine, mid-fire absolutely
don't
not.
do
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so today then you've got this on the table. What's been the popular ones that you've had?
Do you
so
know,
far?
it's funny you mentioned the cigar. The cigar malt has just been flying off. The King Alexander I brought with me, thinking that it would be a favourite, and it's definitely has been. But quite often people say, "Oh, I've got a Dalmore at home and I've not cracked it open." So this is a really great opportunity to interact with whiskey lovers that are like, "Well, do you know what? Let's have a
Yeah,
taste, and
exactly,
maybe they will crack open." And
Because it's a beautiful bottle, and it's a 12-point stag.
12-point stag, yeah.
12-point stag.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
to the Glenfiddich stag, which is an 8.
I think they're both 12
Or is it
points.
both 12 point?
No, it won't be a 12-point.
No, it won't be a 12 point. No, is it not? Right.
So the Royal Stag is 12-pointed stag, and it's the Mackenzie coat of arms.
Right, okay.
I've been saying this story a lot today.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well rehearsed.
Yeah, I can give you the spiel if you like. But yeah, it steeps back in history to the 1200s, late 1200s of story of King Alexander on a
Right.
hunting trip with the Mackenzie clan, and the chieftain of the Mackenzie clan saving the king's life and king granting him the emblem of the royal
Is that
stag,
right?
a 12-pointed stag.
And that is something that's been on your bottle, because I've seen kind of vintage Dalmore bottles, and it's still, you still had the stag.
It's been there
on the
since
old labels.
1867.
Really?
1867.
Yeah, that's when the Mackenzies took over the distillery, and from that moment on, it was the first thing that they did. They put the 12-pointed stag on the bottle, and it's been there ever since.
Well, I mean, the brand kind of travels, doesn't it? And I think as well, from a tourist point of view, when people see it, it's like, well, you need to have the stag on the bottle, the
It's a
Dalmore.
stag, whiskey with a stag on the bottle.
When I went to Taiwan, it was one of the things that surprised me the most, just like how much Dalmore advertisement
Yeah.
Really?
there was.
Well, Taiwan's actually one
Huge
of our
market for
biggest
you, yeah.
markets for value. Yeah, it's,
Right, okay.
Taiwan's a huge market for us. Slowing down slightly now, but Taiwan historically been a really important market. Yeah, it's
And the good prices for that, because Gordon Dundas said the pricing in Taiwan for whiskey is up there from a single malt point of view.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, it was a pretty flash trip when I was there.
Oh, you had to go and visit, was it? You go and visit
I went to visit my cousin.
because your granny told you?
Yeah, she made me. It was good to see her. I don't get me wrong, but like,
See, granny's told me to
I
come.
do remember getting out the airport, and it was just like a humongous billboard, and it was just the side of the bottle, the stag.
Yeah.
And I just said, like nothing else.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about international branding for whiskey at that time. This was like 2018 or something like that. So, but I was really impressed. And even going to shops there, I was like, they have a massive collection of, well, not only like core range stuff, but there was a huge G&M selection, Malt Whisky Society, stuff like that. And I was like,
They love their whiskey over there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they
it's
do.
really,
And
really
dark whiskey. So you
Yeah.
like when you look at like the colouring that you see on the heavy sherry stuff. Like what is it? The Glenlivet 13 Sherry Taiwan edition. I bought a bottle of that on auction. I think I've still got it in the house, but it's like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But then people were explaining to me like if you have like over there, they absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I suppose with the Dalmore, some of the colours that you see with the sherry cask that you use in there, it must be
For sure.
Yeah.
And what we find in those sort of markets is the higher the number on the bottle, the better.
Yeah, good for you guys.
which was good. But it's, interestingly, like the King Alexander is such a great seller for us. Doesn't do particularly well in Asia because it's not got a number on the front of it.
Sure.
Whereas sharing the story with you and the history of the King Alexander in the US market, the European market, it goes down really well.
I'm a big fan of Roman numerals. Over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So seeing a day like today, then having a brand like Dalmore, is it beneficial? it help because people are like, oh, it's a Dalmore, or do you have to do a bit more work because people say it's the Dalmore, I would rather go and see somebody else because I know that, because the Dalmore's always there.
Yeah.
So it's like I know the Dalmore's there. Is it harder or easier? What do you think?
It's an interesting one because I think there'll be some more challenging conversations sometimes, but in general, people are just they're already massive fans of the brand, and I think the situations like this are great because you can really connect with the whiskey drinkers. Sometimes they think with a premium brand, that they're, I don't know, not stuffy, but you know what I mean, maybe they wouldn't even bother coming to like a whiskey event. But I think for me anyway, it's really good to connect with the whiskey drinkers and to share stories.
Well, I've seen it myself, like over the last 2 years of doing the podcast. It's like, at the time, if someone had said to me spending £75 on a bottle of whiskey, I'd be going, what are you doing? Like, how can you spend that much money? Now, I'm at a stage where, Billy Big Box here, eh? Like, but like,
£85.
but you look at, but you look at it, but there's, like, you talk about the Pulteney 17, rare fine Pulteney 17.
Such a good
you got 100 odd quid and they go, it's value.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is, and it doesn't matter whether it's a Macallan, a Dalmore, or whether it's a Thompson Brothers or somebody like that. If it's a good dram, you'll pay good money for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for the premium stuff, there might be people that go, I just can't justify spending 300 quid on a bottle of that. But at the same time, someone might try that and go, I have to buy a bottle of that because the whiskey is just so good. And I would say I am very much enjoying this dram.
And actually, dare I say it, but something, at the end of the day, a lot of whiskey is bought to be gifted.
Yeah, and that's a good gifted dram.
Something like Dalmore is probably a pretty safe bet when it comes to gifting somebody a whiskey because it is that recognisable brand and so forth.
And it's sometimes, like, if you think about the occasions that you drink a whiskey in, I mean, my chat's been pretty atrocious today. I've been telling everyone that I put 15-year-old Dalmore in my cornflakes.
Please have your breakfast responsibly.
But like the train today.
Yeah, but there's an occasion for every dram. Maybe not cornflakes in your breakfast, but if it's a special occasion, if it's a wedding or I don't know, you've got a promotion. There's lots of different occasions that you drink a whiskey, and sometimes you want to crack open something a little bit special, and I feel like Dalmore really fits that pretty nicely.
We had a lot of Fettercairn when we were at in
we
Montrose.
We had one particular afternoon where we just Montrose. So we went to the. I can't remember the whole story, but we ended up in the boardroom.
Montrose Football Club.
Oh, really?
Due to all sorts of things. So we ended up there, and they had a table, and it had a couple of bottles of Fettercairn, and the guys the board of directors at Montrose Football Club said, wire in.
We did.
You took full advantage.
We took full advantage, and they said, a local distillery and all this sort of thing for us, which it is. And it was fantastic. So that was that. Whenever Fettercairn's mentioned, that's all I can think of.
Have you been to the distillery?
No, we've never been up.
We need to get you guys up there.
I've been outside, but never in. My mum's moved just to Johners.
Oh, cool.
So I drove and I just took a picture of it.
It's an amazing distillery. I love going to Fettercairn. Everything's just still. It's really like family orientated. The way they make whiskey is really unique. The new make spirit in Fettercairn, I'll go out and say that. I know I work for Whyte and Mackay. I'll go out and say on a limb, it is the best new make spirit in the market. It's just.
What's about? Is it florally lighter?
Super tropical. Is that you go into the mash house and it's banana bread. Yeah. It's just so light, tropical. It's like a perfume almost.
Okay, very good.
And it's just everything about Fettercairn really is great. And you need to go there to experience it.
And you are open to the public.
We are.
Because it's not an area. It's not an area of Scotland that you associate very much with whiskey, is it? Whiskey making. When you go up, everyone's like, if you're going up north, you go to Speyside, you're into the Highlands, but over on that side. Now tell me, what other brands do Whyte and Mackay have under their umbrella? Then sort of recognisable brands and stuff like that.
So the Dalmore is right at the top end in the prestige, and we've got Fettercairn, Jura, Whyte and Mackay blend. Obviously the name on the door. We've got Woodsman, which is I suppose like a premium blend. Glava, which you can't
really.
Glava keeps ticking over. It made a bit of a resurgence last year.
Really?
Glava's doing not so
someone
bad.
who's worked in hospital. It very much.
Every pub's got a bottle of Glava.
There's
not many pubs that don't have it.
People get really upset if you don't have Glava too.
And do Whyte and Mackay still sponsor the horse racing as much?
No, not really. The
That
horse
used to be, because it used to be quite iconic. You used to see it. Was it Whyte and Mackay on the horse racing? Was it? Am I right in saying that? I'm pretty sure it was.
I don't know.
I used to.
Is the sorry, I've
No.
completely changed the topic, but is woodwork still in the works? Like it was like the experimental stuff that
Woodwork.
yeah, it was. They had bottles that were like maybe it wasn't Whyte and Mackay, but I think it was your master blender for. He was did like the first Scottish maturation oak stuff.
So the Scottish oak.
Yeah,
And that's
like
over in Fettercairn, we've got a Scottish oak program.
Yeah, we had it. We had it actually our first ever. It was technically our first proper whiskey festival that we went. It was the
No, that was an Aberfeldy Scottish oak.
no. We've had a Fettercairn one as well.
We must have had a Fettercairn.
We
as
have
well,
had the
but that-
Fettercairn.
Yeah.
The Scottish Oak program at Fettercairn really, in 200 years, will be incredible.
Yeah.
What Greg wants to do is to be able to stand at one point in the distillery and say, this is where the water comes from, this is where the barley's grown,
Yeah.
this is where the wood comes from, and this is the distillery it's all made in, and you
Yeah.
can see every single part of the whiskey making
That,
process.
that Scottish oak, you hear
Yeah,
people
yeah.
talking. It's an absolute nightmare for working with.
It's harsh, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But what I'll try and get you a sample of a 3-year-old Scottish oak
Right, okay.
whiskey that we
Yeah.
released last year. Fettercairn turned 200 last year,
Wow.
and we released a set. There's 10 sets in the world, from 3 up to a 60-year-old, and each of the bottles adding up to 200 years. The 3-year-old is the same colour pretty much as the 60-year-old, and I don't know if I'll get fired for saying this. I actually think that the 3-year-old tastes better.
Really?
It
Really?
tasted insane.
Really?
And we found that
What are you getting out of Scotland? Because I mean, we had the Aberfeldy, but we have had the Fettercairn at a whiskey festival. Definitely have.
Yeah.
What are you getting out of Scottish oak? What are you expecting to get? What do people? Because we've talked a little bit. Everyone's talking about the Mizunara Glengoyne release at the moment. So everyone's saying, "Oh, the Mizunara oak and what it does, and this is what you get, and what have you." What's Scottish oak given?
Well, it naturally gives a little bit of a pepperiness to
Yeah.
it. There's a bit of spice, so that's probably why a few, distilleries have gone away from using it, because it is quite harsh. It's an acquired taste, but it gives such a complexity of flavour. Like people often think it's like a really deep sherry kind of flavour. The Fettercairn 18 has a finish for a year in Scottish oak. I'd recommend giving that a shout.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not. There's not a huge amount of it out there, and a 3-year-old Scottish oak whiskey, is a bit different.
It would be.
But it's really interesting, and I think that could be the future of where.
Yeah, well, I
where it
think
goes.
from a sustainability point of view, you got to look at that. If you've been there for 200 years, why not look at what the next 200 years would look like?
Exactly, and that's the forward-thinking outlook,
Yeah.
and that's what I would say about Whyte and Mackay is we the industry isn't. Isn't what it was maybe a year or two ago, but we're really investing in the future and thinking 200 years ahead, and I think that's important.
Well, we're thinking about 15 minutes ahead because the doors are about to open. Round 2 is about to start. We've actually got to go in the scavenge again to try and find a few more bottles to have, because I think we'll hold.
Giving too many away.
We'll hold off, and I don't think we'll have to. I mean, I think the longer today. I think what we saw is towards the second half of the first session.
People's competence on darts.
There is like a sweet spot, isn't there? Maybe like 2 drams there.
2 drams it went up, and then it went.
I don't know.
Off a cliff.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they'll be listening, right? And maybe they will. Good luck to them. But but basically, a group of 6 Polish people came over. I don't know if you maybe chatted to them. A group of 6 Polish people.
Cleaned us out.
I have a go. Aye, 3 out of 6 won. Aye, 3 out of 6 won.
They conned us.
We were absolutely. I was like, they'll never. Aye,
One of the women, she threw like 3 darts, and they went wildly different directions. And then on the spin, she had to throw another 3 darts to get 60 points. No problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. So literally, the point is, you've got 1 dart. Throw your dart at the dartboard. Whatever number you get, we'll put it towards whatever prize you could win.
Yeah.
She did. First dart didn't even hit the board. Second dart didn't hit the board. Third dart, oh, you've hit the board. Well done. You've got a chance to win a prize. It was a bottle of Glen Scotia, I think.
It was the bottle of Glen
So I'm like,
Scotia.
all right, spin the wheel. She spins
Red
the
wine,
wheel,
Glen
and then it comes up saying you've got 3 darts to get 60. You're like, this will be fine. Nailed it.
Double 18.
Double 18.
Double
18.
You love to see that.
You're like, fair play to you. But she was the 3rd out of the 6. And it was like, after the first guy, like, oh, well done, you have won as a group. Congratulations, you've got yourself a bottle. Yeah, can I have a go now? Like, "Oh, you want to go too, do you? Right, okay. Then he didn't win. Then the next person that comes in, she won. So they cleaned us out. They got Glen Murray 15 and the Glen Scotia double wood was what they walked out.
I think it was Glen Scotia like red wine.
Yeah, double. Look, people have done well.
Yeah,
and like I say, the first
need to
guy,
get up there.
within 10 minutes of us starting it, the first guy rocks up and walks away with a Dalmore 15 in it. So,
Right.
but thank you very much, Glenn, for your time. But thank you for putting the drams up. Thank you for the dram as well.
Not at all.
All the very best for the
lovely.
next 3.5 hours or whatever we've got. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Slán you
Maybe see you at the dartboard.
Right, I guess you know what to do. Clap us in. Right, we're on the whiskey couch.
We're nice and cosy.
We're on the whiskey couch.
Kumbaya.
We've got Marcus McCurley here with us. Marcus, how are you?
I'm not bad, man. How are you? I'm all good.
I'm good. You're not working today, are you?
I'm not working today.
But you've got a team dram pass. You're just here, eh? You're
Aye, just here. Olivia's here, so Olivia, my partner, works for Borders Distillery. So, and Scott and John that run Lomond and Clyde are class. So they're like, come along,
Brilliant.
have a few drams, mingle with a few good folk,
Aye, good.
throw some darts, try not to blind anybody, and
That's it.
have a good time. So.
Brilliant. Now you've just recently started a new position. So tell us what you're doing and who you're
So
working with.
I am the face. I'm the new brand ambassador, doing the sales for Brave New Spirits.
Brilliant.
So it's brilliant.
Angus, do you know much about Brave New Spirits?
I don't know.
Brilliant. Tell us. About
So
Brave
here's
New
a
Spirits.
segue into finding out about Brave New Spirits. So Brave New Spirits, we actually just celebrated our 5th birthday.
Brilliant.
So it's quite a relatively young company, but what they've done in that short space of time has been phenomenal. Independent bottler based in Glasgow. We have warehouses in the centre of Glasgow, also in Campbelltown. And within that time, we're distributed in over 40 countries around the world. We have our 3 ranges, which is Caskmasters. We have our Whisky Heroes, and we also have our Voodoo series, which is a part of the Connoisseurs range. And then we have volume brands as well, which again, like for example, over in Asia and Japan, hundreds of stores over there. So to do that in 5 years is absolutely amazing. They were really kind. 3rd day in, they went, do you want to come along to our first birthday party? And I thought, I feel a wee bit of an imposter syndrome here, and you're doing all the clapping. Aye, fantastic. I've only been here 3 days. But they're a really good team, really good bunch, and the whiskey is pretty smashing. So
So you're talking about these warehouses. We were chatting earlier, and you were saying some of the liquid that you guys must have in those warehouses.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
we second day in, not flexing, but it was really cool. Got to try 50-year-old that's going to be coming out next month, which is a 50-year-old Glenburgie.
Wow.
And it's absolutely banging, man. It's really good.
Big fans of
do you want to do the
Glenburgie,
tasting notes? Like, you're leaving me responsible to do the tasting notes for this.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you get into whiskey then? What's your sort of whiskey story?
Funnily enough, it was actually doing a tour in Glasgow at the Clydeside Distillery, and went round there, and I thought, do you know what? This is really interesting. I like the history behind it, the kind of geekery, and from there, 4 years, from being a tour guide at Clydeside Distillery, Glengoyne, to then working at North Star, and now at the mighty Brave New Spirits in 4 years, which is just amazing.
Mental,
man.
aye. And we our last episode we were at Glengoyne. Gordon Dundas took us around. Great distillery.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Really
It's beautiful. Good stuff. Good stuff.
enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Now, what are Brave New Spirit? What kind of things will people see if people are looking like what can people find online or buy from Brave New Spirits?
Yeah.
What kind of releases?
Well, I brought another segue into a wee dram there. So I brought a wee miniature with me, so we can crack that open. This is the Caskmasters range. So this is the old and rare Caskmasters. So this what we have as a 31-year-old single cask Glenrothes. Matured in a first fill, Oloroso Hogshead. Not a bad wee dram to have in your pocket.
There we go,
You pull that out there, and it's absolutely delicious. So, do you fancy a wee dram?
Well, we're not going to say no to that.
No.
Right, get a wee pour of that. There we go.
I've had a few of the
Thank you very
Voodoos
much.
over the years.
Voodoos are great.
Some really, really good ones. I think it was
Thank you.
Tormore in particular that really stood out for me a while ago. And weirdly enough, when I was in Chichibu earlier this year,
Chichibu, wow.
yeah, when I was at Chichibu Whisky Fest, and you had guys had a really nice stand up there as well. So
Well, I'll pop my microphone back on. The Chichibu was until the 50. The Glenburgie 50 comes out next
Cheers.
month. Oh, cheers, by the way. Slanger.
cheers, thank you very
Slanger,
much.
guys. Thank you.
Yes, brilliant.
Wait, before the Glenburgie comes out next month, the Chichibu Festival, that was the oldest whiskey that we'd released, and it was the 34 Little Mill for the festival. And
not
I heard
try
it was
that.
absolutely amazing, so I'd have
And
loved
what-
to try
what-
that.
what-
Sound like you wish you had tried that, Jack.
yeah, I kind of gutted about that.
So what would you say? People listening here, right? You've been in. How long have you been in the new job then?
I think I've been 3 weeks.
3 weeks, right? So the 3 weeks. I mean, you're talking about day 2, day 3. You're getting a chance to try some pretty special whiskey.
they're really good. They are a good bunch, and they're passionate. And the co-owner Alexander, Alex, a lovely guy from Germany. When I was only there a few days, we've got a new Voodoo series which came out, and I really like the Voodoo because it's really funky with the different cask maturations. So we have a Blair Athol that's been in rum hogsheads and ex-Lagavulin casks. I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's got that kind of peat element behind the Blair Athol. The spirit's really nice 'cause it's got that nutty profile. And I thought, do you know what, something a little bit different. And I think whiskey, I say this all the time, but I think whiskey should be fun.
Yeah.
It should, don't take it too seriously. There is a time and a place for that, but with the whiskey heroes, that comic book style labels, with the Voodoo, and then of course the cask masters are a little bit more conservative and has that beautiful kirigami illustrations on it. There's something for everybody. But most importantly, the juice is really good. The liquid's good.
So we were to go, right, okay. Pick us, for people who are listening or maybe thinking, right, I want to check a bit more of these brave new spirits, hearing about it and things like that. Pick us three drams, go one high end, one mid range, one sort of core range that you're looking at that you would sort of be recommending and pushing to people. So you're saying, like, let's say, I push the boat out dram. We've got a 31-year-old Glen Rothway, which I imagine.
It's gorgeous.
Cracking, by the way.
Absolutely delicious. Really good.
Oh, it's absolutely sensational.
A sort of a nice dram to treat yourself with, but something that's easygoing and something that a house dram that you could say stick in the house and have something that you can tap into.
Fantastic. So we have a Dalmore 33 that came out, which is in the Caskmasters owned in rares, which is around about under £400 RRP, but it got 90 points recently at Whisky Fun, so everybody's going mad about it. It's beautiful. Dalmore is one of those distilleries, you don't see it very often. You're now starting to see it more because, of course, with Elixir, beautiful spirit that comes through there. So I would say you kind of want to go high end, or it's still accessible. Well, it's a lot of money, but there's value there. There's value there. There's good value there.
Dalmore's a distillery I see more often. The more often I drive up to Elgin.
It's so beautiful, man.
Yeah, such a beautiful spot.
But no, I would say that. There's also a Blair Athol, which one of the first drams that I tried there, and that's been, again, the Caskmasters range, which was full maturation and an Oloroso Hoggy, gorgeous as well. The Whiskey Heroes, I would keep an eye out. There's a Ben Rinnis that we've released that's been finished in a first fill PX barrique, absolutely stunning. You've still got the robustness of the Ben Rinnis there. It's quite weighty, the spirit, but the PX, it doesn't mask over the spirit.
Right.
It works really well. And that Blair Athol and the Voodoo, I think, is absolutely delicious. The rum hoggies, the Lagavulin expeated casks.
What's that sort of looking at? What you're talking there, right?
Price point, I'd say around about with the Caskmasters. That's the Blair Athol's under £60.
Right, good.
So kind of around about 60, just under £60. With the Voodoo, just a little bit higher. So again, accessible, good liquid. The Voodoo small batch. The Caskmasters single casks.
Brilliant, superb. Well, I think the noise you've heard with people cheering as the first folk are starting to make their way back in. Round two, lads. We haven't managed to scavenge and get some other prizes. So
we've been distracted.
It could be a short game. Once we get rid of them, it's back on the train on the way home. Listen, Marcus, thanks very much for the drum. Thank you for coming on. Great chat. All the very best, and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
Thanks. Clap us in. Welcome back to the Whisky Stories podcast on the train on our way home from the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival. Well, lads, we've got a wee dram in hand. We're on
Got
the
the
train
same
on the way
squeaky
home.
train.
We've got the same We're on our way home. It's been a successful outing, Chuck.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think this is the voice is a little bit more hoarse than it was before, but I know it was a great event. Really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it was.
This train is for Edinburgh Waverley. The next stop
That's where we're
is
going, brother.
Dalmore.
Yep. So we're currently out we're in Cardross.
We're in Cardross on the way back
outside.
there,
I tell you what, looking out the scenery is lovely. If you get a chance to see, it's a lovely part of the world.
Clyde Riviera, Graham.
Absolutely. But like Angus, we were giving away some whiskey today.
Absolutely, and we actually managed to give most of it away as well, which was quite a success.
We did quite well on it.
We had a chap won the 14-year-old rare find
Altmore, right at the end there. But I mean, the fact is, right. So first of all, first person to do part of the challenge. You'll see this on the video. We will be putting a video out for that, so you see that. But the first person to take part in the challenge nailed it and walked away with a Dalmore 15, which is right. But I do have to say, I've got a retraction to make. As I sit here wearing a lanyard, not a lanyard that has a Glencairn at the bottom, but it says the Team Dram, my pass, which lets people know I'm official. I'm there on official capacity. But I would say no lanyards up for grabs, but
not being handed out in a way.
I would tell you this, right? After a long old day of being at a whiskey festival, I could really do with a lanyard round my neck with a Glencairn resting on it. And actually, how many times did
We all lost our glasses about 10 times, and we had a table that only we used.
Yeah, we had our own table. We still lost our glasses. So I'm gonna retract on the wankiness of.
I think time and place is a big factor in that.
I think there was people.
That was the time, and it was the place.
Exactly. There was a time and a place when you need a lanyard, and there were people who had brought their own lanyards with them. One guy in particular who ended up nailing the treble 20 on the.
Some really nice whiskey sponge decanter badges and stuff.
Yeah, loads of badges. It's just like it collected his badges and stuck them all on it. So I'm making a full. In one episode, I'm making a full Whisky Stories podcast. Graham Kilgour.
In 10 hours.
Yeah.
Graham Kilgour is pro lanyard.
I'm making a redaction on my previous comments where I will say, actually, you know what? Not having a lanyard's wanky.
Maybe.
And look out into the store because no merch.
We're going to bring out Whisky Stories lanyard. We are going to bring out Whisky Stories lanyards.
Maybe in a couple of weeks, Chris. It'll be nothing to the listeners, but maybe in a couple of weeks, Graham, when we go up to Dingwall, we should both go with a couple of Glencairn lanyards around our necks on the bus.
Absolutely. I think
the reaction would be worth it.
What drams have we got? We've all got the same dram.
We've all got the same dram.
Pal of the pod, Fraser Soonis.
Gordon MacPhail
poured us a nice dram from Gordon MacPhail on our just before we were leaving.
A Bal Blair, 33 years old.
I think it's 30-year-olds.
Oh, 30-year-olds.
I think 30 on the button. Yeah.
30-year-old Bal Blair, Gordon MacPhail on a train on the way home.
I mean, I've had worse drams on a train, Graham.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
Absolutely slumming it. I think.
We're really scraping the back. But Marcos gave us a lovely 31-year-old Glen Rothis. That was a really
actually, I think we were talking about drams just before we started recording. I think for me, that was possibly the highlight of the afternoon. That dram, that was probably my favourite dram. Closely followed by actually Tricara had a Breval.
You like the Breval, did you?
I think it was a 30-year-old Breval. I thought that held up very, very nicely against the Glen Rothis. It was a bit different, but it was very, very nice.
I'm going to go and say actually I preferred their Inchgour.
Their Inchgour was very good.
That was one of the. It was Inchgour and I think it's First Fill Bourbon or something like that.
16-year-old in First Fill Bourbon, yeah.
Cracking dram.
Yeah. But there was a dram, Graham, you went back for twice.
Yes. Camera's gone again.
Camera's gone again. That's all right.
It's okay. The scuff marks had camera.
It's switched sides as well.
Switched sides. Right,
there we go. We're back in the game.
That's it.
So Graham, there was a dram you went back for twice.
Yeah,
which is what, breaking the golden rule of a festival, is it? I don't know.
Technically speaking, you could say if I had my phone, which is somewhere here, I'll be able to get, because there's a lot of drams that you get in these things, so it's very easy to forget what you've what you had. But what I would say is, I took a photo before life because what stood out about this dram for me, number one, it was in a wine cooler bucket with ice. So straight away, when you see whiskey in a wine cooler,
something a bit different at a whiskey festival.
So this was an Auchentoshan single malt Sauvignon Blanc finish, vibrant and fresh, exclusive, limited edition, and I don't know if it's got an age on it.
I think it did have an age. The guy said I think it had. I'm going to say
there's
guessing.
nothing on the label. There's absolutely nothing on the label.
He said to me it had something like 12 years of bourbon and then 3 years finished in Sauvignon Blanc.
47%. I tell you what, it was an absolute cracker. You didn't like it, Chuck, or you didn't not like it, but it wasn't for you.
It just wasn't my cup of tea at all.
I thought we were actually talking about it about a month and a half ago when one of the listeners asked what would be a dram that you can have on a hot day when they were off to Egypt. We were talking about whiskey on ice, or do you put ice in the freezer?
I said the Johnny Walker White Walker, which is put in the freezer.
Well, the guy said to me, this is a dram to have after a hot spicy meal.
Aye.
And that kind of fits the bill.
I thought the mouthfeel, I really enjoyed it.
What I would say is I had the first sip of it, but then I was holding on to it with my glass. By the time I took the second sip, it was warm again.
Again, if you had a lanyard, it wouldn't have.
If I had a lanyard, I would have avoided that problem completely.
Yeah, but look, the lads did well organising it. It was a very well put together festival.
Yeah.
There were some really good.
Now approaching Dumbarton Central.
We're in Dumbarton now, lads.
Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
I thought there were some really good,
Just a couple of bottlers I'd never seen before. It was a really good turnout as well.
Yeah, it was really good turnout. Busy hall and interesting exhibitors as well.
I got to taste Living Souls stuff for the first time. I think that was probably. They had a 10-year-old. I actually don't remember what it's named under, but it was a teaspoon
This train is for
Ballindalloch is what he
Right.
told me. That was my favourite.
One of my highlights was when we were playing the game, and it was the 14 Glens of Speyside, and the poor girl when she was under pressure, Glen, and then Glen, fuck. I went, no, that's.
She was close to something.
Glen Farkless,
to sound similar, but yeah, Glen Fuck.
Glen Fuck this.
If anybody wants to found a distillery in Speyside and call it Glen Fuck, then
I don't know how.
I'm not going to invest, but you do you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, look,
we are on public transport.
Thanks to our sponsor, ScotRail. Big thanks to our sponsor, ScotRail, for putting up with us. Trains are running on time on the way home, thankfully, so far. Touchwood, we're on a direct service straight back to Edinburgh. And you know what? If you want to spend a couple hours on a train going through from the east coast to the west coast, seeing some beautiful places and scenery, and then getting some whiskey, I would thoroughly recommend next year booking your tickets for the Lomond and Clyde Whisky Festival, jumping on a train and heading through and trying some great whiskies and great drams.
Because I mean, there are a lot of whiskey festivals in Scotland, and they're all over the place. But what I would say about this one is very, very convenient for the train. It was only about a 10-minute walk from the station.
5 minutes.
F10, 5-minute walk from the station. So very, very. If you're close to a train station, very, very accessible for you to get there.
And if you use the discount code Whisky Stories Train, you'll get no discount. You'll get
an error code.
You'll get absolutely no discount whatsoever, unless after this podcast, someone who enjoys a dram and works for ScotRail is listening, contacts us, because we've really enjoyed the trains hangers, haven't we? There's legs in a podcast just of us on a train drinking drams. I think now that the ban of drinking alcohol on trains has been officially lifted in Scotland.
Was that on at some point?
Yeah. All right.
It was.
So it's been lifted. So we've got an opportunity now to enjoy a nice dram. We've got a 30-year-old private single cask bottling Gordon MacPhail that we can sit back, relax and enjoy. Tomorrow, as you're listening to this, we'll be hosting our Gordon MacPhail Indie Bottler Spotlight. The last time ever see Fraser Souness in a professional capacity. No problem. But it's going to be a good night tomorrow night as we're recording.
Absolutely,
as you listen to this.
But I mean, what I would say about Fraser is, worst guest we've ever had on the podcast. I wouldn't hold that much hope for this Indie Bottler Spotlight.
No, I think he's going to redeem himself. I think he's going to pull out the bag. I think he's going to, the final dram, he's going to pull out an 85-year-old Glenlivet generation. If anyone from Gordon MacPhail's listening, I don't think he's going to do that.
I heard a 20ml bottle. He'll give a drop to
I heard a full bottle would be given to every guest.
Is that right?
Take home.
I mean, treat on the Whisky Stories podcast. Actually, as we're
and if that's not value for money, really.
Exactly, for 25 quid. This is episode 98.
Yeah.
Friday's episode, the Indie Bottler Spotlight, will be episode 99. Then it's the big 100, and of course the Centurion episode.
We hit the triple figures.
And the important thing is to remember as well is, Angus, we're approaching our 2-year birthday.
We are, yes.
So we really need to get something planned for our 2nd year, but it's going to be good. I tell you what, who might be listening to this on their way up to Edinburgh is Lance Morgan.
Oh.
He's coming up for the Indie Bottler Spotlights with his current wife, so I'm looking forward to seeing them back in Edinburgh, back in Athletic Arms.
Again.
Good to see them both. Can't wait to see you guys. Anyway, listen lads, we've got a dram to drink. We've had a good old day. Yeah. It's been good fun. Thanks again to the guys at Lomond.
The train's really hyped up the squeaks.
This could be a disaster in the edit.
No, I called it out. It's evened out. It's all fine.
That's it. But look, guys, have a good one. Thanks very much for listening. Thanks for passing the pod. Share the pod, please. Keep telling everybody. Get involved in the Weekend Dram Roll Call. Get involved in our Whisky Stories Facebook group. All the other stuff. I guess we've done it again. Slange bar. Cheers.
Cheers.